Tony, today was your off day with your workout regimen. Tell me
Yes.
what you did today.
Well, the whole family slept in, which honestly is incredible. Like none of us woke up until 8 o'clock. It was incredible. Like that does not happen ever. So it was so nice for us all to just be sleeping in. Um, but yeah, so no, we got my wife and I drank a couple cups of coffee on the couch. The kids were watching tunes in the morning, and it was just like chill. Then we started doing Christmas decoration, and then became very not chill very quickly because Christmas decorating for Christmas is, I mean, I love Christmas, but decorating for Christmas might be the bane of my existence. It's
That's
just
tough,
like,
dude. Well, let me ask you this. When is it too early to start decorating for Christmas? Is now the right time to do it?
here's the thing. Now being a father, it's like I don't have the time nor the patience to do, like, some people will decorate for Halloween and then decorate for Thanksgiving and then decorate for Christmas. There's not a chance. There's not a chance I'm busting out a turkey and a pilgrim hat for decoration. So I just go straight from Halloween, straight into Christmas, save the middleman. Nobody cares that much about Thanksgiving. Let's just get to it. And I just can't be bothered. I just can't.
No,
So
I'm with you. Thanksgiving actually has grown to be one of my favorite holidays. Like with age, I mean, I don't have kids yet, so I don't get to really experience the joy of seeing them open up their gifts on Christmas. But
yeah.
I
Well, you
I,
could
I
get me a gift and then you could see the joy of my
I'll do it.
face.
Okay.
You know
I'll
what I'm
send you one.
saying?
You actually, so you sent my mom some BPN gear, like a lot of gear for helping you set up at the Life and Stride BPN Shakeout in
Hmm.
Chicago. And dude, I wanted to thank you for that. That was super nice. She was super happy to get her stuff. And
Well,
she,
here's the thing. I did not know she was your mom. First of all, I had no idea. I just thought she was a lady around the table. And like I showed up, it was like super, kind of a last minute thing for me to go. And so I was there. I brought enough supplements for like 800 people, and it was just like, I
yeah,
needed help. It was just me by myself. I had one videographer with me, but I was just like, dude, I got to really like hustle. And thankfully, like three people just jumped in and just saw I was in distress and jumped in and helped. And your mom was one of them. And she was like so kind. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure to like say thanks and get everybody's information that helped me. And I sent all three a real nice
yeah,
care
she
package.
really
So
appreciated that. And I appreciate it too, dude. It just,
of
I think that's like
course,
one of many things that speaks to Tony Reyes as a person, just making sure that he follows up with a thank you that is well, like way over generous for like 15 minutes of setting up. But my mom appreciates it, man.
of course, man. Of course. Yeah. Not a problem. Your dad's name is his name's Big Dan?
He's Big Dan. Yeah.
Big
I'm Little
Dan. Yeah.
Dan.
Cause
Yeah.
uh, she was like, I was like, oh, what's your shirt size? She was like, oh, well, I'm a small. And then, you got to get a shirt for Big Dan. And I was like, who the heck is Big Dan? I was like, all right, I'll get him a shirt. Sure. So I got but it was funny because in my notes, I have it as shirt for Big Dan, extra large or something like that. It was just very funny. Very, very funny.
That's great.
Yeah. He ended up throwing it to me. So I've got a BPN shirt now. So shout out.
Nice.
Thanks,
Nice.
thanks for the shirt on
Slightly
behalf
upset
of
at Big Dan. I'm
the
not going to lie. It's slightly upsetting, but it's fine. That's fine.
Dude, well, we'll have to throw him a Life and Stride hoodie to get him back, boys. What do we think?
Oh yeah, for sure. Tony, like we're past due. He should have had a hoodie. Like we should have showed up to Floberg's studio with one in hand to give him.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I will absolutely rock that, which is perfect because we are just about to start hoodie weather in Texas. It's
Is
nearly
there hoodie weather in
Thanksgiving.
Texas?
We get about 5 minutes. You get to put one on, and as soon as you put it on, it gets hot again, so you got to take it off. But you can wear a hoodie for a little bit, so
You
it's kind of
force
nice.
it.
You force it, definitely. It's like, oh, it's 67 outside. I gotta get out the hoodie and the scarf.
And I will say, like my grandma's owned a house in Naples, Florida for forever, and whenever we go down there, if it gets like 50 degrees in Naples, people break out like Canadian Goose like coats and stuff. And I imagine it's the same thing in Texas. If it
It's
gets
the
to 50,
same thing.
people are like, it is the winter, and I need a very big coat.
Well, it's like I grew up in the high desert in California and it gets cold there. And
Yeah.
I just feel like a complete wimp now because like it literally it hit 65. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm freezing because I've gotten so used to. I mean, it's 105 degrees here for 100 days in Texas. It's crazy here.
Yeah, that's tough.
So you get used to the heat, but now it's like my thing for like sensing what actual cold is completely out of whack.
When you're training outside, how do you handle the 100 days of 105 degrees?
I actually live for that. I love it. I love to sweat. I have a sauna in the garage and I will sauna while it's 105 degrees outside in the garage. It is a dream. I just love the feeling of having a really hard workout and then just pouring sweat. It is just something that's so rewarding. So I actually really like training in the summer and I don't like training in the winter. My garage gets freezing cold, so I'll actually go to BPN HQ and work out more in the wintertime, so it's a little bit warmer than like training, in the cold because I really don't like being cold while I'm
My
training.
man's a dog.
Dude, how hot do you get that sauna in the Texas summer?
It's an infrared sauna, so it only goes up to 100, like 170, 175, but you feel it, man. It's so humid that I love it. I mean, I use it basically every single day. I'm a big sauna guy. So
You
yeah,
put the turkey in that, dude. 165 is turkey temperature.
dude, you just lather me up and I'll be ready to go.
Dude, we're clearly talking to a guy that has unlimited access to BPN electrolytes, right? Like he just has
Man, right here, I got salted watermelon right here, baby.
Oh,
Is
baby.
that your go-to? Salted watermelon?
Yeah, absolutely. It's when I'm training, I like lemon lime, and when I'm just like chilling out casual, salted watermelon. I mean, strawberry is really good too. But I had strawberry too much when it first came out, so now I'm back on my old favorite salted
I
watermelon.
finally bought the mango. It's mango, right? The new one?
Yeah.
It's orange for G1M and then mango for electrolytes.
Yes.
Yeah, I bought that on the Black Friday sale. Dude, I was determined to get one of those hats and I forgot.
No.
Until like 5 p.m. I'm sure I wouldn't have gotten it anyways because, I mean, how quickly did you all sell out?
I'm not kidding. If you weren't ordering like in the first minute or minute and a half, they were gone.
Oh, I was ready, dude. It was
insane.
I was like gonna Apple Pay and like the cart was ready, and then I literally had a super busy day, and I looked at my phone and I was like, "Oh no, I remembered in the morning at 7 a.m. and then I forgot by 9." But,
dang, dude, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it was honestly incredible. Like it broke every record we had, and it's just like so awesome. So incredible for the community and for us. We were just, we all obviously work hard and we all really, really care. We're all super passionate about BPN. And so to have a sale like that, just like we just had a second, Nick, he had this old tradition and we finally did it again, where everyone gathers out front and he makes a little speech and he pops champagne and like sprays us all with it. And it was just like, it was great. We had a good time. It was a good day. It was a real good day.
I saw those pictures. I sent you a message about that. Those pictures look freaking epic.
You talked about like going into the BPN office or the gym to work out more in the wintertime. And the traditions you have at BPN. Like what is the day-to-day like in the office? Like if you go into the gym in the morning, get your workout, are there like BPN athletes in there? Is Nick in there like pumping iron? Like what's the scene?
Early in the morning, there's like a crew of us that work out early. So it's like me and like usually 4 or 5 other dudes who get after it early in the morning. And then like midday, we'll have athletes come in, Luke Hopkins. I feel like Luke Hopkins is there every day. He's awesome. Like he's one of our local athletes. And so he comes in a lot, and gets a workout in. Nick will usually work out about 3 or 4. And then all of us will usually come into the gym about 4:00. Except on Thursdays. Thursdays, we have team lift, and that is like my favorite part of the week.
Oh, that's so fun.
Sorry, my son's just putting his hand on my shoulder. You all right, bud?
This is a family podcast.
Yeah, exactly. I knew you guys would get it. You've got about 6 kids, right, Scotty? So we
counting. Just feels like it. 3,
yeah.
but
Dude, it feels like it. You might as well have 6 at 3, I feel like.
Yes.
On Thursdays, we have team lift. And so we all stop working at 3 o'clock and we all go into the gym and train together. So everyone's having an early day that day. And it's just really nice to like, hey, it doesn't matter what's going on at work. Like, let's stop and let's all train together. And that is like such a good tradition and so good for morale and for the team. So that's something that we do every week, which is really, really nice.
It's cool. I love that.
That's a good segue into kind of your fitness journey, because I think your bio on Instagram says like 405 to marathon or something like that. And so I kind of want to go back. I mean, when did your fitness journey start? When did you decide to like really start taking your fitness seriously?
I would say I've always tried to lose weight. I've always had this like, struggle with weight loss. I've been bigger my entire life. I mean, we're talking like, I think in 3rd grade, I was like 190 pounds in 3rd grade, which it's a pretty thick 3rd grader.
Big 3rd grader.
Yeah, it's a hefty 3rd grader. And so it's just been like that way my entire life. And I had bouts and like, it was just ups and downs. It's like a typical weight loss yo-yo dieting story through my 20s. And then I didn't really like take it like actually seriously. I know I was just talking about my son, but until my son Ryder was born 6 years ago, that was like the first time I was actually like, okay, this is like a renewed type of purpose. I need to lose this weight so that way I'm around for, as long as I can be. Because it wasn't looking good, man. I was 406 pounds. I was pre-diabetic. I had really, really bad sleep apnea, so bad that I had to have a CPAP machine. So I just was like pumping air into myself every night because I would just stop breathing. That's not a great look, And
How
so
old were you at this point?
When I was using the CPAP, I used the CPAP from I was probably like 28 up until I was 32, I think. Something like that. That was like that was my heaviest. I should have definitely been using the CPAP way before 28 because I had been over 400 pounds for a lot longer than that. This is the first time I was like, okay, something's actually wrong. I need to actually go to the doctor and find out. I had a sleep study done. Found out I was waking up on average about 400 times a night with these little micro wake ups. So I was getting like, even though I would sleep for 6 to 8 hours, it didn't feel like I was getting more than like an hour or 2 of sleep a night. So I was like constantly exhausted. It was miserable.
I'm curious, what was your like career path during this time too? Because obviously you're director of partnerships now at BPN. You're surrounded by people who are really into fitness, which I'm sure is very motivating. What was your career path, kind of early 20s to current?
I get. People make jokes because I've had a lot of different jobs. At BPN, people always make fun of me for that. I've had a million different jobs, but I would say for most of my career has been focused on creative side. So doing photo and video work. I started in weddings and then just kind of made my way around through there and ended up working at a advertising agency. I was a creative director, and then right about you gotta be quiet, bud. We're playing Legos over here. It's so late. He should absolutely be asleep. It's crazy. Because usually at this point he just lives in his room because he's building Legos. But it's like he's like, I think my dad's doing something important. I should definitely go do Legos right next to him. Any other time he would be gone. Anyway, it's so funny how kids think. But so I was a creative director for a long time, and then I moved to Texas for a different company. Nick had found out that I was living in Texas because at the time I was already an ambassador and then got promoted to an athlete for BPN. So I was already like familiar with the whole team. I was already working with them as an athlete. And then when Nick found out that I moved to Texas, he offered me a job to be his media director for his YouTube channel, and I was like, I'm not going to say no to that. So yes, for sure. And it just made sense. Like I'd always done creative work. At that point, I'd done creative work for like 14 or 15 years. So, it just fit. It fit perfectly.
So were you doing like the editing and you were going out and filming Nick and his workouts and stuff?
Yeah. So I was running the team that did that.
Okay.
I did some editing, as well, but for the most part, it was just like directing that team of videographers and editors that were doing that, and then transitioned over from just doing Knicks to then doing all of BPN media. And then after that, started in partnerships, director of partnerships last year. It was actually a year ago this month that I've taken over partnerships. Yeah.
How many years have you been at BPN now?
2.5. 2.5 as like an employee. And then I was an athlete and an ambassador for like, I think a year or like 2 years before. So I've been around the brand for like 4.5 years or so.
So what's your current?
Would you say that in those 2.5 years would you say in these 2.5 years you've seen the like pretty substantial growth? Because I know that like I feel like numbers just keep getting crushed from what is posted.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started as an athlete, I mean, they had like 10 employees, I think. It was something like that, 10 or 12, it was crazy. And now we're at like 40. And it's still like, it feels like a small company. We still have that small company startup mindset where we're just, hungry. A lot of people wear different hats, and it's just, all of us on the team are willing to do what it takes to get the job done. You kind of have to be with a team our size. You just have to like, hey, I know that's not specifically my job, but that doesn't matter. We're like, I will do it. Like, that's fine. It has to get done. So let's do it. We all just kind of jump in. So yeah, seen a lot of growth in that regard for sure.
How have you all been able to cultivate that culture? Because that is like I own a company, I own a landscaping company, and money doesn't do it usually for people. It helps a lot. Like it'll make people not quit, but it will not help like people stay. I mean, like that I basically said the same thing, but kind of not. Like I've tried it, Culture is what people stay for. Like the Thursday lift, like having friends at the company, having fun at work, getting people to look forward to Monday, like and not dread it. Like how have you done that? Because that's the secret. That is the secret.
Well, it's definitely nothing that I've done. I don't think personally. I think it all stems from Nick. I think Nick is literally the spearhead on culture, because we've all come to work for Nick. You know what I mean? Like I of course I care about BPN and I care about the products, but I believe so much in Nick as a leader and Nick as a person, and has obviously changed my life in a number of ways. Like I was 400 pounds watching Nick's YouTube videos on an elliptical in Anaheim Hills, just, middle of the night, just grinding it out, thinking like one day I'm going to be able to run. One day I'm going to, change my life. I'm going to be around for my kids longer. And when you tap into someone, like, when you hit someone emotionally like that and you motivate someone emotionally like that, dude, I'd run through a freaking brick wall for Nick. You know what I mean? Like he's literally changed my life. He helped save my life through his videos, through his content, through his message. And then, getting the chance to like work with him and work for him, bro, it's like, yeah, dude, like what do you need me to do? Like, we're going to do it. It's fine. Like so I think it's that it's Nick, but also it's like having really high standards and setting those standards very clearly. We have a lot of core principles at BPN that we all believe in, and we do not hire unless you fit that culture, unless you fit those standards. It doesn't matter how much experience you have. Obviously, you need experience, but I think that at the core of it is we'd rather take our time in hiring someone to make sure we're finding the right fit than just finding someone who's got, they got 10 years at Amazon, so they must be good. But if they don't fit the culture and you already could tell like something's not off here, it's not worth the experience, because it takes one person to be a cancer to culture. And it really only takes one person to completely ruin an environment. And I don't think people don't quit because of a bad job. People quit because of like either bad coworkers or bad management, and we just don't have that there because we're so picky and so careful with who we choose to bring on the team that I think putting culture and putting your company values and principles is like number one in the hiring process helps a lot.
Yeah, I feel like it's in a growth like phase. I feel like y'all are still experiencing growth phase. It can be a dangerous space of like, okay, we need people like so bad, but then you're like, we're gonna take our time. And you saying earlier, like 5 minutes ago, you said like people wear different hats, and like homie over here is totally willing to do homie's job over here, even though it's like maybe a harder job. Like I'm sure like if y'all needed to step on the line, like I bet Tony would probably pack boxes. You might have done it this week with Black Friday, but
Oh, bro, we were all packing boxes. Every one of us. We literally, there wasn't a person in that company that didn't pack boxes this week.
yeah, that
Like, we
doesn't
all
happen,
had,
man. That doesn't
no,
happen.
it doesn't happen. It doesn't
No.
happen. And we were doing it, and we were happy to do it because
I'm
we
sh-
knew the team needed it. We knew that like these guys that are in the warehouse who have literally the hardest job at BPN, they are grinding 24/7. It's not just a sale when we're busy. We're busy every day. They got a lot of boxes to pack every single day. They're on their feet. They're lifting heavy crap. They're moving stuff around. They're working, you know, they're the real workers there. And so it's like, yeah, during a sale, the least we can do is pop in for a few hours and help either pack boxes, help take out trash. There's always something you can do.
Yeah.
You know, restock shelves, restock inventory, move stuff around, just bring vibes, for goodness sakes. You know, like there's a lot you can do to help during a time like that. And so we all did. Like every single person in the company, I was packing boxes next to our CFO, next to Hope. Hope was in there. You know, like everyone, top to bottom, is in there helping. And it's just like that's what makes the team so special.
Talk about a culture builder. Like like
Yeah.
the people packing boxes all day every day. They see their CFO in there doing it, and y'all are probably
Yeah.
blaring music in there and singing at the same time. I can imagine. I mean, the
My
videos
voice
I
still
had-
hurts.
I mean, that's fun. I want to come help.
Dude, yeah, it's great, man. We have we have all of us, but then we also hired a lot of seasonal employees as well, which are so helpful. And like they all, like, it's just like, man, I wish we could hire all of you guys full time because they just all fit as well. You know, it just BPN. I feel like BPN attracts a certain crowd. You know, we've had a lot of different messages in the past, or a lot of different marketing in the past that we've put out and stuff, but I feel like we've really hit our stride once we found this like saying or this mindset of we're for the committed. And that's just that's who we attract. We attract committed people in whatever your path is, whatever your passion is, whatever, pathway you're on. You need to be committed if you're going to work at BPN, and you need to be committed if you're like going to be a fan of BPN. That's just like what it attracts. And so even the seasonal workers that we had are all great. I've got a bunch of new friends now. It's just really cool to have that.
We just had Mark Cho on, the CEO of Swiftwick, a couple episodes ago, and he just took over the company about a year ago, and he was talking about they're kind of trying to get the culture back to what it was before, and also working on some media stuff, trying to tell the story of the company. And I know you behind the scenes of BPN Media for the past couple of years, you've been behind a lot of that, right? The ideas, storytelling, that kind of stuff. And I guess I wanted to kind of ask about like how important is storytelling and media when it comes to marketing for a brand, because there's so many different companies that sell very similar product to BPN, right? It's crazy how many products there are now. So I mean, how important is like storytelling and media to the success of your company and making it stand out? Because I mean, dude, BPN, I think that storytelling and media really, really makes BPN stand out over any other nutrition brand.
Thanks, man. Yeah, honestly, all respect to Jordan Utter. Jordan is our brand director. Jordan's been around the brand. I think he's worked at BPN for like 5 or 6 years or something, which is a long time for BPN. Jordan's been around for a long time, and he has really hit the stride in driving that. Like I feel like I got us through a certain amount of time. I was fine. I got us through. I did some work that I'm proud of for sure. But once he took over as media director and now brand director, he is really like, oh, dude, what him and the media team make now, I'm just like, it's incredible. Like they really have hit it. Like I feel like us as a brand, we didn't really know who we were talking to in the last couple of years. We were just like kind of trying to talk to everybody, and just like we're trying to like make products for soccer moms and people here and people climbing mountains and people lifting at the gym. We were just kind of all over the place. And now we've really, really honed in who we're speaking to. And Jordan's a huge part of that. So honestly, I would say like all that credit goes to Jordan, because he's like one of the most creatively gifted people I know. But to answer, like, storytelling is everything. We like almost never are we just like, oh, like, here are these electrolytes, you should buy them. We almost don't talk about the product that much because we're so focused on how the products make you feel and what the products are able to allow you to go accomplish. And we're focused on that, the process of everything, rather than like, our gels have 20 grams of carbs. Like, you can get that information on your own. Like, you can see it. It's on the package. It's all there. But like, it's more so about the feeling that it evokes when you see the stories that we tell. I mean, that's why we spend so much time. There's so few companies out there telling stories like, Amanda Kamiko's Leadville experience, that we just put out a short film. George Croker, a kid, and I say kid, literally, he's so young and so freaking talented. Him and Ian Rodriguez put this thing together, and it's just like, it's incredible, and it's a short film, Ikigai, on our YouTube channel. I don't know any other companies that put something out like that. And that's, featuring something from a story internally from our own athlete pool, which is really, really cool. So yeah, dude, I think storytelling is everything, man. It's so important that we put a huge importance on it. We invest a lot in it. But it's like, we let George just take his time. It's like, hey, here's 2 months or whatever it is to go tell this story. I don't know a lot of other companies that do that.
Yeah, I mean, I find myself like I'm watching, Nick Bear marathon prep video, right? And it's just like so subtly, he's like, after the workout, he's like mixing the BPN, but he's not like saying like buy BPN, it's just like, he's like very, like, it's not forced, and it works great. Yeah.
We try to treat it really organically. Yeah.
That's what
we want it to be really, really organically. And it just like, when you force it, it turns people off. And it's like, that's not who we want to be. We want it to be genuine. We want it to be organic. And it's just so much easier to show like a real workout and show someone really training. And then, film them afterwards, how they rehydrate. And just like, that's what it is, rather than just like, there's companies out there who take out spray bottles and spray, actors to make it look like they're actually grinding. And it's like, dude, that people can read through that so quickly, it's just that's not good. It's not good.
We're not here to name names, but we know who you are. Tony,
Yeah.
I want to talk about, go back into your journey a little bit. You had a really inspiring post last month, and it was the 1-year anniversary of you having a heart attack. Talk about that story a little bit.
Yeah, man. So I was, I had a heart attack. It's kind of a tricky story to tell you, to be honest, because it happened while I was on a project that I can't say I had a heart attack during this project, but it was a project where I was out of the country filming something, and I had a heart attack while I was filming that project.
Oh, man.
But I'm not allowed to say that, which I can't go into the details of that, which is dumb. But that's how massive networks work. But yeah, so anyway, I was doing something extraneous for a long period of time. I had a heart attack. It was a type 2 heart attack, so I had no long-term damage to my heart, thankfully. I've done every test under the sun. As soon as I got back to America, I got a cardiologist. I did so many tests, bro. Like, literally every single test that you can do, I've done. And my heart has passed with flying colors, and I'm back to, feeling, I feel 100% better than I did before that event. So, man, it's something that was super scary. It was like it was the scariest day of my life for sure. And it was extremely painful, but I feel incredible now. So, it's been a year, and a month since then.
Yeah. Sometimes I guess every time like something scary like that happens, a big medical scare, it really puts things in perspective and
Yeah.
kind of resets your focus on like what it is that you want to go achieve in life, and you know, kind of restacks your priorities. So so where are you at with that now, and what are you most looking forward to having that behind you?
I'm most looking forward to never having a heart attack again.
Yeah,
That was I definitely don't want to do that
of course.
again. I would not recommend. I think I'm most looking forward to just like, that was always, I don't, because I've been, you know, morbidly obese my entire life, and I have a strong history of heart disease in my family.
Hmm.
I mean, heart disease, like heart attacks have killed my grandpa, like 3 of my uncles, cousins. I mean, it's really done a number on our family. And so it's always been in the back of my mind as a fear of mine, especially when I was at my heaviest. And so to have already had that, survived it, made it through it, made it past it, it's like, okay, my biggest fear came true. I had a heart attack. And now it's like, what am I going to do with that now? You know, I'm past it. And like, now it's just about making the changes that, like, and I had already made the changes then, but it's just, you know, I could be doing more. I could have been in better health. I could have been a little bit lighter on my feet when I went to go do that. And so, now it's just about like putting my words into action and just actually following through and getting back down. You know, I was at 406 pounds, but at my lightest, I got down to, you know, 260, I think 250, something like that. And then I had my second child, and yeah, I mean, dude, life kind of just happened. I started making a lot more excuses. I was tired. I just started being like, oh, well, maybe I won't go work out here. I got a couple injuries. And rather than like finding other ways to make up for that, instead of running all the time, it was just like, I'm just kind of like, take it easy today. And I took it easy a lot of days. And then the weight slowly started to creep back up, and I got back up to 330 pounds, you know? And so it's been getting back down, you know? So that's just what it is now, man. It's just like not making any excuses, just taking my time. I also don't want to just like crash diet, freak out, and like, you know, starve myself. I'm going to take it slow. We're taking it easy, and but we're still making steady progress, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
You got any big like events or race signups in the future that you're looking at?
I do. I'm doing the New York City Marathon 2025.
No way.
That is, yes, sir.
That's
yes,
awesome.
sir. I've wanted to do that marathon since before I even ran. I've always had this love for New York City, and I've always thought, even at my heaviest, I was like, I want to run a marathon one day. I'm going to run New York one day. And it's just been one of those things. It was like so far off into, you know, any kind of possibility that I was like, okay, that's probably not going to happen. But it's something that I've always been in the back of my mind. And now I'm like, okay, let's go from having a heart attack to running the New York City Marathon, because that would be incredible and something that I've always wanted to do. So we're going to do it.
Nice.
What's the process?
Ooh.
What was that?
What's the process to get there?
So I'm working with Nick. Nick is coaching me. So it's pretty nice. Good coach. I'm very, very, very lucky for that. So Nick is coaching me. And hopefully, as long as like schedules work out, he says he's going to pace me as well, which is like going to be insane. And I'm already just like dreading that, because I'm just so nervous for him to have to pace me, and me like, I don't know. I just feel like it's going to add pressure, but it'll be really, really helpful. So the process is just, we're taking it slow, man. I've always had issues where I get really gung ho about something. I get really amped up, and I just go all in. And then I get injured, and then I can't run for a month, and then I start making excuses, and then it's just like up and down and up and down. So we're not doing that. I started at literally 3 miles a week, you know, a few weeks ago. That got bumped up to 2, that got bumped into 2.5. And then I did 1 week at 3 miles, 9 miles a week. So 3 days of 3 miles. And then after that first week at 3 miles 3 times, I started getting really bad plantar fasciitis pain. And so I just started to, took a half a week or took a full week off. I was still working out, still doing cardio, just not running. And now my foot feels great again. So tomorrow morning we're getting up early and we're hitting 3 miles. So it's been really good to just like allow myself, like give myself the permission to take it slow and steady rather than just like rushing into something haphazardly and like hurting myself. So that's been really nice.
Did you watch Casey Neistat's video about New York City Marathon this year? Have you heard about it?
So good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Casey Neistat so much.
Yeah. His it almost made me emotional watching it because he's made another video about failing to break 3, and then he finally did it this year in 2:57. But I thought of that because you said Nick's pacing you and he's coaching you, and Casey Neistat's coach this year was pacing him in the race, and then some lady was crossing the street with a shopping cart, and his coach ran into the shopping cart.
Just wrecked his coach.
Yeah, wrecked his coach out. And Casey
felt like mile 19.
Yeah, so Casey was like, "How
dude, New York wild."
Yeah,
New York is wild for that
race.
Yeah,
Tony, I want to go back to something you said about giving yourself permission to take it slow. I think that's something that everyone needs to hear, and especially like ourselves sometimes. It's like, yeah, if you go out and get gung-ho, you're going to get hurt. Or, if you try to pile too much on your plate at once, it's just not sustainable. And so I think that's a really good message just to underscore, yeah, like take it slow. If you want to get to the next thing, it's a process, and it's about the process anyways, not the result. It's going to get you further if you picture it that way.
Thank you, man. Yeah, no, I like, everyone hears like, you hear it all the time with, I don't want to post my East runs on Strava, and it's like, dude, who cares?
Yeah.
It's so like, who cares? Just what's even doper is running slow a bunch on Strava and then crushing your marathon. Like that's what's sick. Like who cares about like, clout on Strava? I just it's something that I've had to get over too, because it's like it's an insecurity for sure, because it's like I'm already like a bigger guy and I'm like running slow, a lot slower than most people who are going after a marathon, or at least like putting it out there publicly and have a just like this presence online that I'm like, oh, I gotta like represent, I gotta show what I can do, and everything has got to be redlining. And it's like, oh, no, it doesn't. That's a great way to hurt yourself and a great way to fail your ultimate goal. So it's been a learning curve. I've never really felt this way truly, but I do now this time, which has been really helpful.
Kind of going
you
back.
You have a pretty inspiring video. I watched it before I met you in Chicago. Is that where the focus, fight, finish thing came to be? It is, isn't it?
I started Focus Fight Finish. I was working at Panera Bread. So this is way before I was doing
Panera Bread, bro. That's Danny runs that joint, bro.
That's my job. PaneraBread.com. That's what my team works on. So
really?
Yeah, user interface stuff. Yeah.
Okay, good. I will pick my next words carefully then.
No, rip it.
No, rip it, dude. You're good. You're good.
No, I love overpriced hospital food.
Oh my God.
That's it. I'm calling the CEO in the morning.
Oh my God.
That's on Instagram.
I will say the food is extremely overpriced, but I've always felt the website is incredible.
Thanks, bro. That's good gas.
No, I love the food. I mess around. I think, so I worked there for a long time and I was just extremely unhappy. I was a regional training manager and it was just like, this was when I was at my heaviest, and I was just like, dude, I'd probably just eaten like 15 toffee nut cookies and a few, bacon turkey bravos, and as you do. And I was just like, I got to make a change, man. I just need to focus, man. I just need to focus through this. I need to fight. I just need to like, and I was like, dude, I should start a weight loss Instagram. And I was like, I'm going to call it Focus and Fight. And I was like, no, that sucks. Like, focus, fight, and finish. That's what we're going to do. And it just literally, I wrote it down. I looked, it was available. I Googled, like, just in case, like, if there was something, there was like some random, like, girls volleyball team in Kansas that went by Focus Fight Finish at some point. But I was like, that's fine. I got the Instagram. So it started a long time before YouTube and a long time before I ever ran that marathon and made that documentary on my channel. But I did, yeah. So I made a marathon, or made a documentary about running my first marathon in 2020 during COVID. And yeah, man, it's my highest viewed video on YouTube, and it's something I'm super passionate about, because it really does, like, I just wanted to make one video that kind of told the whole story in one video. So it's like, if you want to know, like, about my journey, about me, and like what I'm about, that's the video.
Yeah, it tells it well, man. I was watching that on a treadmill run, and I tried. Everybody calls it a dreadmill, and that pisses me off. I call it the Incredimill because I try and trick myself into loving it, but truly, it's just harder. Like, it's just harder than running outside.
Yeah.
And I was watching that video, like, the whole thing on a treadmill run, and I was like, I almost did just like sped up and did a tempo run. I was like, if Tony can do it, I can do it, and I'm gonna go faster.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, it was really cool. It was really important for me to make that video. I never wanted to be like a full-time YouTuber or anything like that, but I definitely wanted to do something special. So that way, like, I've always wanted to document things. That's what got me into filmmaking in the first place. I was like obsessed with documenting and capturing memories. And so I wanted to document that process, because I knew it was going to be so important for my kids to see that one day, especially because I was doing it for them. And that's what, like, they're the ones that kicked that. I mean, Ryder was the only one around at that point, but I knew I wanted more kids. So I was like, I want to tell the story right. And so that's why I kind of documented the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is there going to be a New York City documentary?
Dude, you're the first person to ask me that. And there definitely is. I'm already filming it. I'm documenting the whole process. My first one was obese to marathon, and this one will be heart attack to marathon.
Yes.
And yeah. So I'm filming that. It's like, I'm doing it on my phone. Like, it's not going to be. I don't need it to be like some kind of like cinematic masterpiece, but I do want to tell the story. I want to capture it for my own family, for my own kids, and also, like, something I'm super, super passionate about is getting people started on their journey, because I love anyone's weight loss journey, but being obese my whole life, seeing like transformations from people who are like, oh, I was like an elite athlete in college, and then I like gained 40 pounds, and now I'm losing the weight. I'm like, okay. I mean, like, you were playing D1 football, like, it's a little different.
Yeah, for sure.
And so I've never related to stories like that, and I've always just been attracted to stories where it's like, no, I've literally have zero athletic background. I never could do anything. I was always been the fat kid. And so I think it's important to tell that story. And I think it's important to show people, like, whether you have been this way your whole life, like, it's never too late to change. And so that's why I want to tell the story again. And again, like, if a few people get some motivation and encouragement from it, like, I'm stoked.
This is about the second time in a row we've talked about this type of thing. It was with Caleb McCoy before Indy Marathon, and he was like, don't start on January 1, dude, for New Year's resolution. Tony's starting now for 2025 New York City. Just start today.
Yeah, I mean, like, that like the New Year's resolution thing bothers me, because it's like, it's just like screw around through all of November and all of December. Do you know how much progress you can make in 2 months? Like, you can do so much in 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's that saying. It's like, people overestimate what they can get done in a month and underestimate what they can do in a year. And it's just like, dude, just start right now. Like, what are you wasting time? Like, it's something that, I mean, my wife thinks I'm morbid because I talk about it all the time, but it's like, we're gonna die. Like, literally, all of us are all going to die one day. We have a finite amount of time. Why would you wait until some random date in the future? Because what if you don't make it then? Like, start now. Like, start lit. Like, I've always been obsessed with that idea of like, dude, one day there's this quote, I can't remember who said it, but one day you're going to wake up and you're not going to have any more time to do all the things that you always wanted to do. And it's like, dude, don't waste time. Don't waste another day. Literally start tomorrow. I mean, tomorrow's Monday, so it kind of makes sense. But, even if it wasn't a Monday, like, just freaking start, man. Just start.
Yeah.
It's not that hard.
No. I mean, start easy. Start slow. You don't have to start at a CrossFit class tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the morning. Like, just go take a walk. Drink some more water, You
don't got to be David Goggins.
You probably shouldn't be, to be honest.
Yeah, dude, have you seen his knee?
Dude, yeah, love the guy, but it's brutal, dude. The guy he's not going to walk. He's not going to be able to walk in 5 years, man.
Oh, you mean like his cartilage is like gone and it's just like bone on bone and he just
it's bad.
Yeah, it's all swollen.
He's just like, yeah.
There's a couple reasons why I started running 3 years ago. 3 people. Nick Bear, Jeff Cunningham, and David Goggins.
Jeff Cunningham, shout out to Jeff. I love Jeff. I mean, David Goggins and Nick Bear and Jocko Willink were huge motivations for me. But the mindset of David, I love. Maybe the way he does it, I'm not a fan of. What's up, dude?
When are you gonna join me for?
Okay, just a few more minutes.
Before we die. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. You're good.
Tony, how important is it for your kids to see what you're doing? Is that a big driver for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why it's so nice to have the garage gym right there in the garage. It's like, you're seeing me, you're seeing me on most of the time on Saturdays, because during the week I'm up at 5 to get a workout in early, but it's there. They have access to it, and they see both Meredith, my wife, and I working out 5 or 6 days a week because it's important. And I want them to see us put that importance on, and I want them to see us make time for it. It's like, no one just has like a bunch of time on their hands. Everyone's busy. Like, yeah, of course I have 2 kids, but I felt like even when I didn't have kids, I still felt busy. I still felt like I was overwhelmed with stuff. So it's all relative. And so we're all busy, it's like we're all busy. So you have to make the time. And I want him and I want my daughter Olive, I want them to see us making the time and putting the importance on it. Like, it's just, it's important. And if it matters to you, you'll figure it out and you'll get it done. And I want him to have that same mindset.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have that, and that's why I spent so much of my life, obese. And I absolutely don't want that life for him.
Kids pick up your good habits and your bad habits.
100%.
And what you say. I mean, that's like everybody says that. Everybody does, even people that don't have kids. And but it's super true. I mean, like, my kid is the spitting image of me. He looks like me and he does everything I do. Sometimes even like the stuff that's negative, and I'm like, it's like so humbling when your 4-year-old starts doing and it's like saying stuff that like you shouldn't be saying, and you're like, oh man, I gotta stop doing that.
Yeah. I'm a little sarcastic, a little sassy sometimes. So I'm like, oh dang, I gotta chill that out, because maybe he doesn't understand sarcasm. I said it. Today is a prime example. He was riding his bike in the garage, in the driveway, and he drove up and he hit the car with his bike. I was like, hey man, you gotta slow down, dude. Like, I don't want you to get hurt or worse, damage the car. He was like, what? I'm kidding, dude. Of course. I'm kidding. Like, of course you're more important than the car. I'm just saying,
but don't hurt the car, please.
But also don't scratch the car. My wife was like, he doesn't know you're joking. I'm like, oh, dang it. Sorry.
Yeah, I know Scotty's got some great rapid fires for us, but before we dive into that, I'm very interested in this TV show you're on, The Summit. And I saw you just posted a reel about it. You're on local TV talking about it. What on earth was it? It was like the first iteration of it, season 1 on CBS. How and it was like, it seemed like it was like climbing a mountain in New Zealand. How did that come to be?
Yeah, dude, they were like, it was advertised to us as like, the casting directors were like, oh, it's not that physical of a show. It's more like just camping with friends. And I'm thinking like, okay, it's going to be like Big Brother in the woods or something. We'll be at a cabin and then we'll go out and like do a challenge and we'll be back at the cabin or something like that. Not that at all. We had 60-pound packs and they were like, you have 2 weeks to get to the top of this freaking mountain. That is, this is the mountains that people go, like pro climbers go to train to go race on Everest. Hey, that's not me. And if I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have signed up. It was out in New Zealand. Gorgeous. Is like the most incredible place I've ever been. And it was beautiful. But yeah, man, like that, the first day we were climbing and we had like zero water, not zero. You had to get water out of streams. Like there's not like, you're out in the middle of nowhere. So you have a canteen, you fill it up in a stream. I probably had like 42 ounces of water maybe over the course of like 6 hours or so. And we're climbing. It's hot. We got these packs. I'm at elevation. And yeah, we climb for about 8 hours and then I just go down and have a little health scare. Definitely legally, definitely not related to what I was talking about earlier. But I just wanted the record to show it was not related to what we were talking about before. But it was definitely a very serious health scare that happened while I was filming a show for CBS. Not related though. So I went down and I had to get airlifted off the mountain, and then went to the hospital for a couple of days, and then just had to stay there. It's like kind of what you sign up for. You just kind of locked up and had to stay there. So again, it was gorgeous. It was beautiful, but being away from the family for that long, and it just, I don't know, man, it was tough. It was really tough. I don't think I would do it again, but I am glad I did it. I'm still really, really glad I did it because I know, like, at the end of the day, it's like the 10-year-old version of myself that was, seeing that, like, he would have been so stoked. He would have been proud, even for, the little bit that I was out there for. I'm still glad I kind of put myself out there and my story got out there and hopefully, again, inspire people to just at least start their own journey. So yeah, it was cool, but it was brutal.
Man, that's awesome.
Sounds rough. If you want to just next time you get a chance, text Floberg and ask what Scotty allegedly did in Chicago. It's just
that seems like that should probably not be written down in text form. Maybe I'll just we'll just talk in person. I don't know if you want physical evidence of that. You know what I'm saying?
It's kind of the same thing you were talking about, not related. It's like
alleged.
It's allegedly. Alleged is the key word.
We had a very
protect yourself. I get that.
Very
like
incriminating conversation on the Chicago Recap podcast that I listened to it, and it was incriminating for sure, Scott.
Scott, let's do rapids.
Well, Tony, rapid fires.
Ready.
Are a time where I ask questions and you answer them. And you answer them in the most succinct way as possible without elaborating. Unless I tell you to.
Okay.
What is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Butter pecan. In a waffle cone. It has to be in a waffle cone.
Chocolate waffle cone or plain waffle cone?
Plain. I'm American.
I like chocolate waffle cones for what it's worth.
Okay. Well. Okay.
What would happen if Pinocchio said, "My nose is going to grow"?
You just broke my brain for a second.
Dude, think about it.
Okay, what would happen if he said, "My nose is going to grow"? Well, that's not a lie. That's the truth. So when
not unless he told
okay. See, you're really Why are you telling me this kind of stuff before bed? You know what I mean? I'm going to try to go to sleep in 30 minutes. And instead, I'm going to be thinking about this stupid question like, well, what would happen? Because it's technically not a lie, but it is a lie. If it doesn't grow, then it becomes a lie. So at what point does the lie affect the nose? Thank you. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Bring it to the team in the morning. Start your Monday meeting with that.
Good.
Would you rather sleep in a bed of peanut butter or swim in a pool of jelly?
Sleep in a bed of peanut butter.
Did Adam and Eve have belly buttons?
I'm going to go with no.
I think you're right. Is the earth flat?
No.
Thank God. For what it's worth, I just had a boys' night, and some of the guys were like, "Can I write some of the rapids?" So these, like, the Pinocchio thing, that's not me. But it was a good question, so I wrote it down. What do you think this generation will get made fun of by the next generation?
Are we talking about this generation of kids like this, or like our generation? Like,
it's a
what
good
generation?
Let's
you know what I'm saying?
say, like, this generation of like 20 to 30-year-olds will get made fun of by the next generation of 20 to 30-year-olds.
I mean, it's insane. Like, they're going to get made fun of these, like, the mullets and the dad shoes. And it's like everything that I was getting bullied about and kids were getting bullied about in, like, middle school is cool now. And that's not cool in my eyes.
That's not
fair. And so that's not fair. Like, yeah, if I could just bust out my dad's 1996 wardrobe and now I'm in the it crowd. Like, that's insane to me. So I think they will get bullied for that. And then it will go out of fashion again. And then, in like 2055, we'll be back and everyone will have mullets again.
And you'll be like,
I'll just be mind blown.
Is BPN the best supplement brand in existence?
It's literally not even questionable from the quality of products, the level of testing, the culture, the mission, the community. I don't know how or what you could even say against it. You know what I'm saying? So
that was a trick question. Perfect answer. What is your favorite sport to watch on TV?
Oh, that's football. It's football, but it's a close
just because it's
second
football season?
No, I love it. I'm a huge Packers fan. I'm a huge cheesehead, so I love Green Bay Packers. We got a win today over Eric's Bears, and I texted him about it. I love it. It's great. We own the Chicago Bears. I also really love UFC, so it's both. But football, if I have to pick one.
What will your marathon time be at the New York City Marathon in 2025?
Sub 5.
Can't wait. If you could do one person's job for a day at BPN, what position would it be?
I think I got the best job. I think I got the best freaking job. I'm not gonna lie. I think I got the best job. It's pretty good. Actually, if I could be, no, I got the best one. I think I got the best one. Yeah.
I got a question. If you did Nick's job for a week, would you do it differently?
No, dude, it would be bad. We'd be screwed, dude.
No.
You know how much Nick does? Do you know how much Nick does? This is what people like. Oh, it drives me nuts. People don't understand this guy's schedule. Like, they're like, oh, it must be nice to just like get to work out all day. I'm like, bro, people don't understand. The man is a machine. He gets up. His meals are already been prepped the night before, so he gets up, he trains, and then he goes to work. He works from like 5:30 to 7, and then he like does breakfast with his daughter, and then he goes to work, and then he trains, and then goes back to work, and then does dinner with family, and then goes back to work, and then builds his recipes for the next day. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. So no, it would be really bad. It'd be really bad. I would try for sure, but it'd be bad. The man works his ass off.
I agree. I think you're selling yourself short. I think you do great. Just my opinion. If animals could talk, which would be the biggest gossip?
Squirrels. Just seems like a right fit. You know, I don't think that even needs explanation. Squirrels.
I was thinking like a poodle for a dog, but squirrels.
Squirrels live in the trees. They're talking to the birds. They live on the ground. They're talking to the dogs. They're all around.
That's
They're
a good
very
point.
shifty. It's a great point.
Poodles are not in trees.
Nope. Nope, they're not.
What sport would be the funniest to turn into a contact sport?
This is not very rapid. I'm sorry. That's a good question.
I'm enjoying
it. The funniest. What? So it's a non-contact sport, and we're turning it into a contact sport. Golf. Oh my God. Dude, you're running down. You're running down the green. You pull out a 5-iron, you just whip someone across the face, and then putt into the. Dude, that'd be incredible. That probably wouldn't be funny. It would be extremely brutal, but I would absolutely
have like full
watch.
pads. Like you'd have full pads and like
bare knuckles. Knuckles.
Like
imagine Bryson DeChambeau just getting smeared in his backswing by like Brooks Koepka.
Dude,
imagine it like a team sport. Like imagine like 2v2, and it's like it's like scramble as well. It's like whoever gets the ball in the hole the quickest, and like you could have two strategies. Like you could go for violence, or you could go for like stealth.
And an argument could be made: full contact golf is basically like field hockey, but I'm gonna leave my answer as golf.
Dude, this would be funny. We should try it.
You should do that.
Like, don't like
you should totally do that.
Okay, like you can't use your clubs as a weapon, and you can't use your clubs as a weapon, and you can't go for the head.
That kind of takes the fun out of it, but yeah, you should do that.
No touching of the hair or face.
If you had to wear one Halloween costume every day for a year, what would it be?
I mean, I was a writer, wanted to be a stormtrooper for Halloween.
Solid.
So I was Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm going to tell you, it was very comfortable. Like those Jedis knew what they were doing. I'd probably just be Obi-Wan Kenobi. I mean, like I had a dope hood on. I had a cool shirt. I had some jogger shorts. It was very comfy. It was flowy, very breathable. And in Texas, that's very important. So yeah, we're going to go with a nice linen Obi-Wan Kenobi.
There's nothing worse than a uncomfortable Halloween costume that you just like want to take off.
Or a costume that requires you to wear a mask and you're like an adult and going to a party, like that sucks. You're just hot. And then like, is that you, Greg? Is that you? Yeah. And then you have to like lift it up to take a drink. And it's just like, that's a nightmare. I did that one time, went as a gorilla and my wife went as a banana. And it was the most miserable I've ever been in my entire life. The gorilla suit was so hot. Like it was funny for the picture. But then after that, I was like, this sucks. So,
last question. I ask everyone this question. Why do you run? You can elaborate.
I run now because it is like the only thing that I do that I genuinely feel like I still can't believe that I can do. I spent so much of my life not running. I spent so much of my life barely walking, let alone running. So the fact that I can just confidently go out and go for a run and go for a jog and like that I've been training for a marathon, that I've done a marathon, like that is like something that I'm extremely proud of and something that I want to always be able to continue to do. So I run to feel pride, but I also run because it's just like there's nothing like it in the world. When you go out for a run and you come back, that euphoric feeling, like runner's high is absolutely real. I don't have it all the time, but I always feel good after a run. So there's just nothing like it, especially a sunrise run. I just you can't. If I could bottle that feeling up, it'd be incredible. But yeah, sunrise runs are just unmatched as far as like energy and mental clarity.
I always find when I run too, especially like the sunrise runs, like right now we're at a perfect time, at least in Louisville where I am and Chris is, when I start at like 5:30 and I'll end my run at like 6:30 to 7, and that's like right when the sun's coming up. So you get like the end of your run is like right when the sunrise hits, and it is the best way to start your day. It's like, okay, I'm going to have a win today, which doesn't always happen, but I like to start that way at least.
Well, sunrise view with the boys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can't ask for more than that.
Nothing like it.
I'm gonna be there tomorrow morning, Scotty. I said I wouldn't be, but I'm gonna do it.
Dude, after this
a.m.
conversation, you better be.
I'll be there. 5:30. Let's do
Heck
it.
yeah.
No excuses.
All right, boys.
Danny, smack that billboard.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
I was about to cut that off.
Gotta do the question. So, Tony, I get one question at the end of the podcast. They let me do one.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
We don't let
I'm
them talk
not
that
near as
much.
good at them as Scotty. What's up? What's up, Streak?
I said we don't let them talk that much.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if the next time we do it, if you could just talk a little less, Danny, I would appreciate it.
I got you. I'm good at that part. So, Tony, in the context of you being the comeback guy, like you have started your journey and you have languished in parts of it, and then you've made comebacks again and again. You've had medical scares, but you're in some ways starting again on a new journey to chase New York 2025. When it gets hard, when you're in the middle of it, you're 6 months into your training and the alarm goes off again at 5:30 a.m. and you don't want to get up and it's dark and you're running alone. What do you say to yourself to get out of the bed? What do you say to keep yourself going?
I do this pretty much every morning because I almost never feel like getting up out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, who does? I mean, I guess some people, but that's not me. Like, I would absolutely love to just stay there nice and comfy. So my alarm will go off. I'll lay there. I'll do one deep exhale and I'll literally just say out loud, I am relentless and I'm the kind of person that gets up. And I just shoot out of bed. I have relentless tattooed on my arm. And it's just like my favorite word. And it's just how I feel. I don't no matter how many mistakes I've made on my weight loss journey or how many ups and downs, how many injuries I've had or whatever happens, I'm always going to approach the next day relentlessly. And it is what it is. I have to get up because I'm obsessed with this. Not to bring up death again, but we all have our highest potential self. And a lot of people have talked about it. I mean, Goggins talked about it in his book. I think a bunch of other self-help guys have talked about it. But on that day that you die, if the highest potential version of yourself walks out and you meet them and you're nothing like them, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow. And it's like, oh man, my life could have been so much more. I could have done so much more. I could have reached so many different levels. And who knows how that would have affected, my family or whatever. And so that's just something that I don't want to have happen. And that's that and just literally saying I am relentless gets me out of bed. It's cheesy and I know it is, but I just you know what, dude, I don't care. If anyone's going to get up out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's going to be me and I'm going to do it every morning. I have to. So
you show me someone who enjoys waking up at 5 a.m. and I'll show you a liar.
Yeah, dude. I don't get it, man. It's I enjoy it once I'm actually up and the work is done. I'm really grateful I did it. I do enjoy it then. But when the alarm's going off, I'm not oh yes, it's 5. It's time to go. No. I'm already dreading it right now. I'm already oh my God. Yeah.
And the point is to embrace that feeling in that moment. And, it's raw when you're in the middle of a training block. It's raw when you're in the middle of anything that you're working towards. And it's important to share that with other people. So I appreciate you doing it, man. This was a great pod.
Of course. Dude, of course, man. Thank you guys so much. I really, I honestly didn't know what we were going to talk about. So I appreciate all the questions you guys, did research. I was dang, you know me. So I really appreciate that.
Oh no, we
Actually did do
it's funny,
research.
when we started the pod, we do a full on like outline before every guest, and now we just hop on, we hit record, and we just have fun and see where the combo goes. So yeah, will scroll Instagram a little bit, get some conversation topics going, but nah, man, yeah, plenty to talk about. We had plenty of questions for you, so yeah, this was awesome, and we really appreciate your time. You know, you're a busy guy, so thanks for coming on.
Of course, man. I'm honored to do it. Thank you for even asking. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right, episode 87, boys. Anything else before we wrap?
That's it for me, dude.
All
Thank you,
right.
Tony.
Thanks,
Tony.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Peace.
Episode 87, Tony Reyes.